Hello everyone, welcome once again to my channel. My name is Luis Portelles, and for today's video, we have a brand new episode of Extraordinary Talks. Now, I am more than thrilled about today's episode because I've been really looking forward for this one in particular for the longest time. And judging by the title of the video, you know that I'm going to be talking with Samantha Panlilio, who is currently representing the Philippines during Miss Grand International 2021. I had the opportunity to meet Samantha a while ago, even before she was crowned. So having this follow-up interview with her is honestly such a pleasure. And I'm really excited to see her evolution. This is not my first interview with Samantha since I actually had the chance to talk to her before she was even crowned. So this is going to be a very exciting conversation, kind of like a follow-up, a catch-up if you want. And I'm really excited for you guys to discover how she has been preparing. And without further ado, my friends, let's get into today's video. With her amazing photo shoots and preparation, I am quite confident that Samantha Panlilio has what it takes to win the first Miss Grand International crown for the Philippines. Let's talk about her journey since the Miss Grand International pageant is just around the corner. I'll see you right after the intro. All right, everyone, welcome once again to Extraordinary Talks. And just like I promised, I have the beautiful, the amazing Samantha Panlilio. How are you doing, my dear?
Good. Hi, Luis. And thank you so much for having me back. I definitely missed you. It's been a while.
I missed you just as much. Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm so glad to have you here with us. It's honestly a pleasure, and I'm really excited about the conversation that we're going to have.
Yes.
So, first of all, let me start by saying congratulations for such an amazing run during Binibining Pilipinas and for winning the title for Miss Grand International Philippines. How does it feel?
Thank you. I don't know. It was just such a surreal moment. But I'm very happy because I always told myself, I had my eye, as you know, on a different crown, but I always said, that was the goal, but grand is the dream. So being able to get grand is just such an honor. And I'm so excited to represent the Philippines for this pageant.
Oh, I'm so happy for you, honestly. You worked so hard for this, so well deserved. Can you tell me
Thanks, Luis.
what was going through your mind the night of the coronation, right? When everything was being announced and they called your name. What was your first reaction?
There's actually this snippet on Facebook of like an audience view of when they first announced me as the winner.
Yeah.
And if you saw, I was just like, I was just screaming because I didn't know whether to cry or laugh. So I guess I was doing both. So,
yeah. It's a mix of many things.
Yeah, it's a mix of emotions, but definitely a once in a lifetime moment.
Was there a moment, do you think, like during the entire process, maybe after preliminaries and during coronation, that made you feel like, maybe I have this in the bag?
You know what? Going into coronation, I actually broke down a lot right before that night because I did have my hair done. See, back to the hair. I did have my hair done going into the final rehearsal. So every chance I got, I would go backstage and try to get it fixed. Yeah. And so because of that, I was so worried. I was bottling it all up. I've never cried about Binibining before or like the pressures that got to me. So I think I just needed to let it out. But once I stepped on that stage, I said, you know what, just let go of everything. Be grateful that you're here. And so the whole time during coronation, I never thought that, yes, I have this in the bag. It's good to be confident, but I think it's better to be grateful throughout that moment.
Absolutely. And I remember, the first time that I met you, it was even before, it was during the process of getting to, the competition itself. So, and it was your very first pageant, first experience, For me personally as well, it was my first series of interviews that I was doing, and you were actually my second interview ever. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Cool. I was so stressed. I was like shaking.
It did look like it.
Yes. So having you back is such a full circle moment. And honestly, what can I tell you? I'm so proud of you, Sam. You've done amazing. And I know that you will do great things. So let's talk a little bit about Miss Grand International and what is yet to come. We are already like a few months into your reign as Miss Grand Philippines. How has the experience been so far? And has it been what you expected of it?
Well, Yes, it's been everything that I've expected and more, because the support that we're getting also, all the winners from Binibini, it's just amazing. And I couldn't ask for a better org to be with. And other than that, I think that with the title of Binibining Pilipinas Grand International, it really opened up doors for me, and in such a way where I could get more involved with the community. People want to work with me more. And, at the end of the day, that is my utmost goal, to reach people, inspire them, and to also give more time to the charities that I support.
That's amazing. And can you tell me a little bit what was your family's reaction to you winning this title? Because we know that you have some country history in the family as well. So this must have
Yes.
been something major.
Yes, a lot of Tita Myrna, my aunt, a lot of her relatives and other distant relatives also reached out. They were like, yes, you raised the Panlilio flag. So it was very nice. And my dad also, my mom was there watching, because we were allowed 5 guests for coronation. And so my mom was there, my aunt, my boyfriend too, and then my dad was watching from abroad because he couldn't make it back in time. So they all sent me reaction videos. So did like my close friends, and so funny. So funny watching them.
That's so cute. The family just did it again.
Yes. After 57 years.
Oh, it took a while, but you got the title. That's what really
Yeah. Yes.
And obviously, thinking of Miss Grand International, I feel like this year you're gonna have pretty big shoes to fill.
Oh,
Because last year Samantha Bernardo did an amazing job. How are you preparing so far for this year's competition?
So when I first won Grand, I told myself, okay, the duck walks are not over. Like, I was there on stage, I was so happy, but in the back of my mind, I was like, oh no, I have to do some duck walks. So I definitely am focusing on my passerella. On my social media, I think I do show that a lot, that's really one of my main priorities, because as you know, Miss Grand, you have to have your own flavor, and you have to have your own walk and attitude showing it. So I have to say that learning it more now and doing it so often, it really does take time for you to figure out your own style, your own walk. And so that's what I'm putting my time into the most, other than learning makeup, hair, and working with my stylist, Mac, for all the clothes and preparations.
Absolutely. That's something that I absolutely love about you, is that you share so much of your journey and your preparation through your social media. Like, you post these videos practicing the pasarela, and I'm just like, whoa, these techniques, like, it looks like so hard.
Yeah, it's really a lot. Like, you have to think about your butt, like moving a certain way while you're pulling up, while you're swaying the hand. It's a lot of coordination. I've never coordinated my body so much in my entire life. It has more coordination than volleyball, for example.
Oh my God, I can only imagine,
So,
girl. Props to you. Props to you.
I saw your passerella though. I also saw your video on the bridge. That was not bad.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to start practicing with you.
I see you, Luis.
You see? Oh my God. So now that you're preparing, right? Obviously focusing on the technique, like you said, the styling as well, making sure that you know how to prepare yourself. What is something that you feel very confident about for Miss Grand International? Something that you know that you will be good at, and something that you still want to enhance a little bit?
Well, for me, I know that I don't want to jinx it, but I know that I'm very charismatic.
Yes.
And so I'm looking forward to the closed door interview too, because I've been talking to a lot of the past Miss Grand Philippines queens, actually all of them, if not all. And, they share their experiences, and they always say that the closed door interview is always very interesting. Yes. So that's something that I can't wait to do. And as for something that I know that I can improve on, again, it's always going to be your passerella, because the more you practice, it just evolves. You figure something out that your body wants to naturally do. Yeah. So the more you practice it, practice makes perfect. But there's never a perfect passerella.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like everyone, like for the fans, everyone has like their own style that they like. So you're never gonna make everyone happy, but for as long as you feel confident and you feel, fears, that's what really matters. And just enjoy the
Yes.
moment, right? Live in the moment.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Yes, I was actually talking to one of my friends about this, and I feel like your personality is really one of, the biggest strengths that you have, because you come across as being so genuine, so honest when you
Oh, thank
when you
you.
communicate. For sure, no, it's true. So I'm really confident that they're gonna love you for like who you are and how you present yourself. So keep that in mind.
Thanks, Louise. I'm super flattered.
Oh, it's all true. So I wanted to ask you if you have adapted
Mhm.
your strategy a little bit from the moment that you competed during Binibining Pilipinas to now that you're competing for Miss Grand International, because you're going from a national like pageant to
Right.
international now.
Right. And it's already, I'm so proud of myself for being able to get through nationals.
Yeah.
However, going into an international competition, you have to have a different strategy. Because for Binibini, I learned, when to peak. I was also learning more about myself, but now that I think I know myself a lot more, I have to
Yes.
be more aggressive when it comes to an international pageant. You really have to have everything planned, because unlike here in the Philippines, I don't have my team there. It would be harder to reach out to people. So I think that the key to acing an international pageant is to just be as prepared as you can.
Absolutely. It's very important to stay focused and, like you said,
Yeah.
just prepare for the things that normally you will rely a little bit more on your team to be able to do them
Yes.
yourself, be a little more independent. But
Yes.
ultimately, just enjoy the experience and make the most out of it. Last time I saw
Yeah.
you, you were representing for Cavite. Now you're representing the
Yes.
entire country. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. I mean, sometimes, when I train with my passerella coach is going to be like, okay, Miss Philippines. And then I would walk, it gives me goosebumps every time they say Philippines. So I can't wait to do that. And
Yeah.
how they introduce themselves to in Miss Grand, like
Yeah.
Samantha
Yeah.
Bernard. I can't wait to do my own one.
That's gonna be amazing. Honestly, that's one of the things
Yeah.
that I really love about Miss Grand International. Not only the way that they introduce the candidates, but also how, I mean, like, I feel like the title is very fitting, how grand everything is, the
Yes.
production. It's a fun pageant. It's very
It
fun.
is. It's always so interactive as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
And
the
and did you
fun.
hear about did you hear about the swimsuit competition this year during the press interview, the press conference with Mr. Nawat? He announced that for the swimsuit competition, it's going to be in a dock. And so what's going to happen is we're going to come in a boat, and we're going to go down and do our passerella on the dock. So I'm like, oh my God. Like,
Oh my God. Okay, I'm sold. I'm sold. This is the
yeah,
pageant of the
right?
year. All right.
I was like, whoa.
Whoa, that's gonna be
Yeah.
amazing. I cannot wait to see
Yeah.
that. Oh, now I'm just worried about like on a duck and then like wearing heels. How is that gonna work?
I hope they put like a flat platform, and yeah. And then he said at the end we all go to the boat and sail away. So
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Just very grand. I cannot wait for what the organization has in store for us. But I also have to say that they've been such a great org to work with as well. The processing the papers and all the requirements. It's
Yes.
it's been great so far. I'm having a great time.
Oh, I really love to hear that, honestly, and make the
Yeah.
most out of it, enjoy it. And I know
Yes.
that it's gonna be an amazing, amazing pageant.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about last year. So the Philippines almost won. First runner-up for
Yeah.
Samantha Bernardo. Honestly, there is a lot of pressure because I remember when I go back to that moment last year, there was so much expectation and even people being a little bit like split between Samantha being the first runner-up. Some people say like she should have won. Everyone has their own opinion.
Of
Do you feel
course.
ready to be put into this position where people have such high expectation of what you're going to do?
I think so. I work very well under pressure. I worked as a coder. I was always on a deadline. I work for my family's business. There's also a lot of pressure on me. So I think it's good pressure, and I love a challenge. I
Yeah.
love a challenge. And so Yeah, as long as it's all positive pressure, I'm good.
Yes, absolutely. And during these moments, right, when you're competing and when you are, say, like most exposed to the public
Mhm.
opinion, so how do you handle it? Are you active on social media? Do you have people helping you to like not be so much exposed to it, or how do you deal with this situation?
You mean if it's a negative
I
thing that I
mean,
see, or
when you're like competing, because sometimes you might open social media or something, you might see like a lot of good. Sometimes there's like negative comments as well.
oh, that's true,
Do
that's
you do
true.
it yourself, or do you like while you're competing, you separate yourself a little bit from like what's being thrown at you?
Yeah. So for Binibining, I was handling all my social media accounts. However, the last few days of rehearsals, when we were checked in, there's really no time to, watch all these um, videos or, about us. And so I hope that that's going to be the same for Grand. But this time around, I do have a team handling my Facebook. But for the Instagram, that's really my personal platform.
Yeah.
But I will definitely avoid social media
Yeah.
maybe a week prior to coronation night, just so that I'm focused and I don't waste my energy maybe on something that I may not like too
Yeah.
much.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and at the end of the day, just like we've said before, everyone has their own opinion. What really matters is
Yeah.
that you present something that you feel proud of and that you feel satisfied with. So that's all that
Yes.
matters.
Yes. And it's always good to hear and good to know that I have, the Filipino people behind my back. And we are a lot of people. So it's crazy the amount of support that I've been getting from
Yes, you
all
have
the
the entire
fans here.
Philippines behind you, and you have like a crazy
Yes.
Cuban in Canada rooting for you. So
Yes. I love it. You might as well just move here, Louise.
yes, yes. Just give me the visa already.
Yeah.
So you and Sam and Samantha Bernardo actually have the same camp. So what type of advice has she given you for this year?
She told me to just enjoy it, be yourself, focus on passerella because, as we know, Miss Grand puts a lot of weight on your performance.
Mhm.
And so, to even get to the speech part, which I feel confident about, or the Q&A part, you have to perform first. That's what she told me. And she told me that to just enjoy because I feel that when you enjoy a pageant, everyone can see it. You can feel it. It's the energy you give off. Like in Bini, I felt like I was enjoying. I felt very light. And that's also something that you translate to the judges and to the audience as well.
Mhm. Let's manifest now, okay? Let's throw this positive energy into the universe.
Yes.
You win the Miss Grand International title. What would that represent for you personally? Being the first, title holder from the Philippines, the first crowned Miss Grand International.
It would really be a dream come true because I know that if I were given the opportunity to be Miss Grand International and have that platform, there's so many other things that I'd like to do, not just with charity work, but to also really talk to people. And as you know, the Philippines has been wanting this for so long, and so to make history for the Philippines would be such an honor. My aunt made history as the first Binibini. I also made history as the first candidate number one of Binibini to get a title. And so I hope this would be the third one for the Panlilio, the Panlilio clan.
In the making, history in the making.
Yes.
That's something that I really love about you, Sam, is that I mean, like, of course, when we talk and like the interviews and all, but also when I watch other videos that you've done with other bloggers, interviews, you always bring it back to your advocacy and what you stand for and the charity. And that's something that I find so genuine about you. Just keep doing that because honestly,
Yeah.
people see you for more than just a beauty queen, but also for what you represent and what you bring for the table. So to the
I
table.
agree. I agree. Can I just share that I went camping a few days ago and it was so crazy. I mean, we had like a 2-hour trek to the mountains and my car couldn't make it because it was a
Oh.
4x2 and you needed a 4x4. I was like, oh my God. So we had to park it at the end. And I just wanted to share that it's so nice to be one with nature again, where there's zero service. And I would really recommend to anyone who's watching to maybe, have a camping trip or just close your phone for a day and have more meaningful conversations with people. It really does a lot and really lets you take a step back.
Yes, exactly. Puts things into perspective and
Yes,
when you come back to
exactly.
reality, you're more focused.
Yeah, Yeah, when I came down the mountain, I had like so many notifications. I was like, oh, so much for that.
Oh, because we missed you. That's why.
Yeah. I miss you guys too.
So, without revealing anything compromising, right?
Yes.
Have you decided already, like for your final gowns? Do you have everything prepared for the competition?
Yes, I still have some fittings and some final fittings as well, but I'm very, very excited to work with the local designers this time around. And it's, yeah, I just, my stylist and I, when we talk, we told each other that we want to represent me, my personality. And so it's so great. And I'm so thankful to all the designers who agreed to make, in Filipino, I don't know if you know this word pasabog.
Pasabog, of
Oh,
course.
okay. You know it. I was like, wait, I wonder if he knows it. If you know tarot, you probably know pasabog.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
expecting the photo shoots to be fire.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm so excited for the national costume as well.
Ooh, that's gonna be
Yeah.
amazing. I'm excited. And talking about pasabog and in social media, that's something that you've been really, really good at lately, especially with the new photos that you've been posting, the videos, the cinematography, girl. You are not playing.
What do I have to say? I have a great team.
Yeah, and it shows, and it shows.
Yeah.
How do you come up with these concepts for the photo shoots and the videos?
I work very closely with my stylist. Actually, shout out to Mac Insha. He's actually here living with me, but he actually flew back from Cyprus because we had a deal that if I won Miss Grand, he would come back to the Philippines just to style me.
Oh,
So
oh.
I've been, yeah, he's a really great friend and we've been working really closely together. And I don't know, we just sometimes we wake up at 7 a.m. We have some coffee and we just shoot ideas at each other. Like, oh, this would be great. We watch music videos, JLo inspired, Britney Spears inside. We try to get out of, the typical pageant
Mhm.
look or in terms of photo shoots, at least.
Yes, yes.
So we really want to get creative here.
Yes, I remember this photo shoot that you posted, and I was just like staring at my phone for like 5 minutes. Like it was like the one with the mirrors, and they're like, oh,
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
beautiful.
The curls.
Yes, you had this video as well that it was kind of like in the woods. It was super dark, super
Oh yeah,
mysterious.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, my God, this could be like an ad for fashion
We were,
brand or something.
yeah, we were going for like a perfume ad. See,
Mhm.
like it's very out of the norm.
Absolutely. Doing amazing. I love it.
Thanks, Louise.
Now, when it comes to the preparation for Miss Grand International, how's your Thai?
My
Your Thai.
Oh, my Thai, it's
Yes.
going good. So Arika, Kapunka, Sabaydima.
Yes.
So yes, I'm learning. I don't want to focus more on the language. I want to focus more on the culture and
Yeah.
what the locals appreciate, their day-to-day lives, because I feel like that's the best way to really not assimilate, but to learn
Yes.
about someone else's culture.
I feel like that's the right
Yes.
approach, right? Because it's not always about just knowing the words, but also, connecting with the people and the story,
Yes.
being able
And
to.
the way they think too.
Mhm. So, so
Yeah.
important. Sam, I have two more questions for you.
Sure.
Well, actually, one question and one request. From
Okay.
1 to 10, how ready do you feel for the competition?
Right now I'm at an 8 because we still have to pack my bags and we still have final fittings. But for the moves that I will do, I feel pretty ready for that. And my speech and the Q&A portion, I'm very ready for that. It's more just the physical packing.
That will be done in a few days. We're almost
Yes.
there. And my
Yes.
final request for you, can you introduce yourself
I
as,
knew it.
yes, we need to hear it.
Okay, but I won't reveal the actions just yet.
No
Okay.
worries.
Okay. I'm Samantha Alexandra Panlilio, Miss Grand Philippines.
Love it. I love it so much. Sam, thank you so much. I mean, it's been such a delight to get to see you once again. And I'm so, so excited for the competition, for what you will do, for the entire journey. We'll be supporting you. We'll be rooting for you. And regardless of the outcome, I just hope that you have a blast, a blast.
Aw.
I'm already so, so proud of you from the first moment that you joined Binibining Pilipinas and seeing you now just before you go to Miss Grand International is just like mind blowing. So
Aw, thank you, Louise. I super appreciate it. It feels like talking to an old friend because we haven't talked in a
yes,
while. But I also
exactly.
want to congratulate you for all your YouTube success. I feel like you're doing amazing. Like
Thank you.
just
Thank you so
positive
much.
energy, you know.
Oh,
And
that
I
means a
love
lot.
it.
Just trying to have fun with it and, enjoy the ride.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love it.
Thank you. And everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this episode and for staying with us until the end. Please go and check Sam on social media, support, send some love. Sam, where can they find you on social media?
So they can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Samantha Panlilio, but Instagram has an underscore at the end because someone took the name.
Please go and support. Or I grab my tinelas. You know that I grab them real quick. So, all right. Thank you, everyone. Love you, Sam. Mwah. I'll see you
Thank
soon.
you. Bye, Louise.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.